Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday evening. And sorry, running a little bit late. Skype being a little bit crazy, and so on. I hope that you guys are all well. Got the recording set up and everything else, all of it. So here's hoping everything is working out just fine. So there's been a lot to talk about. So let's talk a little about first things first. I got rest in peace to Nicole Bass. She passed away. I think she passed away today. She passed away. Former WWE former WWE competitor, she and ECW competitor, also former NWA Worldwide Intergender Champion. She was an American bodybuilder, and she was she was one of the part of the she was part of ECW and she was part of the WF and ECW. She started in ECW. She feuded with Tommy Dreamer, Mikey Whipwreck, and so on. And also, she was in the WWF. She was Sable's bodyguard at WrestleMania, I believe, 15, I believe. Yes, WrestleMania 15. Also, she was in a mixed tag match with Val Venus against with Bass, Val Venus against Jeff Jarrett and Deborah at WWF's Over the Edge in 1999. And she also was, I think she was in a brief, she was actually with Ivory for a while. She was she had an alliance with Ivory until she left the WWF and filed a lawsuit, sexual harassment by supposedly she was sexual harassment with Steve Lombardi, aka the Brooklyn Brawler, but that did not happen. But sadly she passed away today, and it's really sad because she was actually a really good person. Very good person who a lot of people in the wrestling world pretty much really feel horrible about her passing. So rest in peace to Nicole Bass, and I hope her family and I hope that she can find peace, and knowing that she actually entertained many wrestling fans, including myself, way back in the days in the 90s, of the whole Attitude Era and the entire ECW groundswell movement and such. Okay, with that rambling mess of me, that nice interlude and such. Let's get into with WWE stuff. Is Monday with his past what happened Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw happened, and it was mediocre. We had some other stuff. I'm barely winning the women's championship at Monday, and so on and so forth. Fine, whatever. She should have won at WrestleMania, but then again, I don't care. Huge. I think it was called the Festival of Friendship, the aftermath of Festival of Friendship, and everything else with Chris Jericho set out for his best friend Kevin Owens. It was a long waiting. It was a pretty. I watched parts and some pieces and parts. The whole art. It's art. You don't need pants. That was funny. I'm surprised. It's actually probably really tame compared to all this Chris Jericho and KO fan art of that goes online. That actually probably is pretty tame. and so on and so forth. And the Gilbert impersonation, I like that, but also the whole list of KO and Chris Jericho basically getting his ass whooped by Kevin Owens, including that corner powerbomb that doesn't take anyone out for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it costs you a week of your career, Michael Cole. I can't really take that seriously anymore. And honestly, it is needed for Kevin Owens, but some would say it's far too little, far too late for stuff like this, because Kevin Owens has been shown to be completely and utterly, as a buffoon for the past several months. As long as his entire title reign he has become this comedy duo with just Jericho. He hasn't really been dangerous. He hasn't been conniving, dangerous, manipulative, all this type of things. He hasn't really shown that fiery edge and such. He had bits and pieces of that, but at the end of the day, Kevin Owens never really showed that. Kevin Owens never really showed that fire before, and then he did. People say, oh, it finally saved his title reign, but to me, I don't think so. His championship reign is too much. It has been tainted too much. It has been tainted by the very lackluster feuds, the lackluster matches, feuds, and quite honestly, Kevin Owens' character. I mean, at this point, if this was reversed, if this were the United States title, I wouldn't mind it because it was being mid-card. But this, Kevin Owens has been in the main event for so long. He is in the main event. Raw's ratings have gone to the toilet. He has not drawn new people in. Even if he goes and beats Goldberg, which I highly unlikely he doesn't, it's not going to change. It doesn't, it's like, a really crappy and terrible movie. Sure, you might have one good pieces left, but if the entire movie, the entire runtime is completely garbage, but yet the last 5 or 10 minutes is actually good, it doesn't matter. The journey was terrible. The journey was terrible and terrible and just really terrible and forgettable. It doesn't matter how you end it. It doesn't matter how you stick the landing. You stick the landing and it's still crap. Kevin Owens' title run has been pure crap. And at this point, even if this whole thing, he has to lose the title to Goldberg at this point. I say have him lose the title to Goldberg, have Roman Reigns versus Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar main event at WrestleMania. Have Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. Have them feud for that for a couple months. Have him rehab himself for over a year. At this point, I don't want him near the United States. I don't want him near the Universal title scene for over maybe like 7-8 months, maybe to a year. Kevin Owens has been completely and utterly been damaged beyond repair. It's at this point. So I say have him lose to Goldberg, have him fall around to the card, and have him just really build himself up again, because that's the only way you can do it. And yeah, and honestly, part of me is this one would just have, not even have the United States Championship. Have Chris Jericho come back and have him defend the United States Championship against like Braun Strowman or whatever, and have Strowman win the title. Have Strowman dominate for a couple of months and everything, because that will be actually more interesting. Have Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens just fight over that revenge type of thing. That right there would be a good thing. That right there maybe would be the only way to have him earn himself back into it. Kevin Owens needs to earn himself back to be really threatening at this point. I know most people don't want to hear this. I know most people don't want to like to hear that, but in my personal opinion, Kevin Owens, as good as he is, as great as he can be, as everything else, he needs to have he needs a lot of rehab. He needs a lot of just the complete makeover. I just can't see Kevin Owens being this whole that whole type of thing. He needs to have that depth. He needs to be basically, you know, needs to be that dickish and villainous. But then again, he was still cheered. Kevin Owens was still cheered when he was basically the most dickish and evil in Ring of Honor. So what the hell? What the hell then? I mean, then what do you do then? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. But then again, hopefully I'm wrong and this could be a very good launching point for Kevin Owens. But yeah. But hey, that's my personal opinion. But anyway, yeah, that's how I got my thoughts on that whole subject. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts about it. Remember, if you want to call in the live show, remember the phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID connecting me to Duke CT is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. And if you can't make a call in, this is the recording. I want to hear your comments on the YouTube, on the YouTubes, and all the other stuff. So I would love to hear your comments about this as well. Anyway, we're gonna take I'm gonna take a little break here, a little pause in the action to get me some water. Let's see what. Let's see if this will work this time. We're gonna take a small break, and we will be listening to some OC remix music. It has been working for whatever reason, but I don't know. I'll find a way to get through. If not, if it doesn't work, I can always edit this and post. So, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna listen to some of that, and we will be right back. And we're gonna be talking some the whole DC movie universe rumors, what I think about them. But there's gonna be more stuff, and there's more stuff on the way. So don't worry. We'll be talking about this here live on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Duke CT. We'll be right back right after this. And we are back here live, here on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Duke CT. Oh man, I am humbled, and thanks to everyone who listens live or on YouTube / Duke CT, also on Manic Expression, manicexpression.com, also on the Seshcat Studio video forums member spotlight. I gotta start re-upping that as well. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear me on the Freaking Awesome Network, the Fan, yes, and on iTunes. So download and do all the crazy stuff you do, because I do love it, and I do get a lot of people who watch, who listen, who do all the stuff, who listen, learn, and all this type of stuff. So I do, and I am, again, humbled and happy that I get downloads and everything else. So again, I'm happy. I'm so much, love. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of love, All right. Well, DC movie universe. What can I say about the DC movie universe. Oh boy. Look, I have been a fan of it. I like Man of Steel. I really like Batman v Superman. I like the director's cut of it. I like both films, in fact. Well, I like Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman. I think they rushed it a bit. I think they should have had Man of Steel 2. They actually are planning that. And now, oh gosh. Jeez Louise. Suicide Squad, which was okay. Even though they really didn't mess with it. And now, oh gosh, Batman, and now we have this. We have two big rumors here. First off, we have supposedly you had Ben Affleck, who was really good as Batman, and supposedly he's going to be really good and probably in Justice League, pretty much. I think he will be good. It looks like, supposedly, the rumor has it that it looks like, according to a report from John Ciampa, Collider John Ciampa, that he might, he might just step away from the role. And this is honestly hinges on what Wonder Woman and what Wonder Woman and the entire Wonder Woman and Justice League. Because if those two bomb, that's it for the DCU for right now. The DC movie universe will be dead in the water. They both have to hit, but they both have to hit home runs. Because I think he's like, you know what? If this doesn't work, they already basically, supposedly, he's not directing the Batman film anymore. He's not directing the Batman film. In fact, I think another person is actually directing it. And it at this point, if this could be the end of the entire DC movie universe. It would be... I honestly think this would be the biggest L in the movie universe. I mean, honestly, we have seen some L's, ladies and gentlemen, in the past several months. I mean, from, the politics of Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, that's a huge L, and mostly what's going on with the president-elect, of pretty much just so many, he's a giant L, but who cares, but that's beside the point. You had the Atlanta Falcons, who, basically coughed up a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl, and they, somehow let the Patriots win. That's a huge L. But this, honestly, if Ben Affleck leaves the DC movie universe as Batman, honestly, at this point, that will be the movie equivalent to that. That would be the the triple L of just all the big L's right there for all that. If he does leave the entire franchise and such, it would be a complete disaster. I don't think the DC movie universe, I think at this point it would destroy it. And the entire thing right now, what do you do? Because honestly, that would reverberate of, it would basically be like, okay, Ben Affleck leaving, it would be, it would basically be like, well, it's over. I mean, it would be over. They would have to start fresh. Personally, if they did, I wouldn't mind the whole JSA movie franchise. Start from the real beginning. The first superhero team, which honestly, David Goyer and I believe Jeff Johns actually did a collaboration on that one, on the JSA one once upon a time. So maybe they can actually work some magic and have that again, But yeah, it looks like because honestly, the DC movie universe right now looks really bad. If a positive critical, like I said, Wonder Woman and Justice League don't get in such, he's done. In fact, when you have the Flash, can't have a director. There's no director for the Flash. Shazam, there's basically no director for Shazam. and he basically walked off with directing Batman and such. There's um, I mean, jeez Louise, he's and Ben Affleck is not doing well. I mean, he did the Live by Night, and that was completely panned. So yeah, at this point, that sort of thing. It would be. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. It would actually be that huge. Maybe some would say this would be a positive thing, but Shock the System needs a truly reboot or rebirth, since Geoff Johns is actually doing the whole rebirth aspect. At this point, to trash it in for a while, have it simmer, be like, okay, we made mistakes, but let's start it up again with maybe instead of that, maybe they'll restart. Say, instead of without Justice League, we'll start not with a Superman film, but maybe just maybe a you start off with a Wonder Woman movie, but also something more. Like I said, the JSA start off with them for a while, then build up to a Justice League movie, and also you still have David Ayer, who's going to be doing a Harley Quinn spinoff, and which I think is something going to be very interesting. Also, you know, um, you know, you know, all these other directors. But yet, funny enough, but you said Dave Ayer is going to be gone from Suicide Squad. Who's going to be directing Suicide Squad 2? Mel Gibson. I'm not kidding you with that. Mel Gibson is looks to be supposedly going to be in talks to direct Suicide Squad 2. Wow. And that is amazing, And Mel Gibson has been, since his, has been, since his whole for 10 years, he's been out of the drunken arrest, talking about against the Jews and everything else. Very, talking all that stuff for the Jews. But he's cleaned himself up. He's sober. And at the Hacksaw Ridge, about holy crap, and by the way, I think it was actually a really good movie. I liked the movie. I think it was really a really good, well done film. Violence wise, yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, it shows war in its brutal and bloody, violence and gore and such. And also shout out to let's see who was let's see shout out to Andrew Garfield who was the main dude about that. About Army medic Desmond T. Doss served the Battle of Okinawa, refused to kill, like the first man in American history received the Medal of Honor without firing a shot in war, which a man who's truly about pacifism, which that right there, that's pacifism under fire. Wow, that's really is that's really is moral, right? That is wow. I don't know if I could do something like that. That's crazy. I kind of consider myself a pacifist, but I don't see myself personally as one because I still enjoy the violent movies and films and such. So I don't know. I might leave something about that in the comments. So I don't, yeah. But and honestly, if you punch me, I will hit you back. So I'm in I believe in self defense. So yeah. But back to the main point. It's this. I mean, he was really directing. Mel Gibson does really, really good, and and it is up for an Oscar. and and Mel Gibson looks like he can be, he could get this again, and he doesn't really, he does not. He's well publicized opinions against superhero films. Like he ripped off. He said he doesn't like that. He says, "quote Do you know the difference?" He's like one of the main quotes he talks about. All these type of stuff is he's like he divided Batman v Superman. He says, "Do you know what the difference between real superheroes and comic book superheroes is? Real superheroes don't wear spandex." He also added, "So I don't know. Spandex must cost a lot or something like that." So it's very interesting. Someone who's actually, again, very hesitant about superheroes, and talks about now going to be doing a really anti-hero type of film about the anti-superheroes, about Suicide Squad, the Ring In. It'll be interesting to say at least about that. But if Ben Affleck does leave, it's going to be, oh man, it will be, again, here's something interesting. If Ben Affleck leaves and then he says, what if Mel Gibson doesn't take, like, because of that, he doesn't do Suicide Squad, then you have David, everyone just completely leaves the project. The whole thing collapses, and you have to wonder what would happen to the people behind Warner Brothers. Who would would the studio head get fired? It would be a completely and utterly, there will be a really change in management. And the shareholders and everything else, there will be someone who has to fall on the sword. And I don't know who's going to fall on the sword, but will this be a positive thing? Will the CW stars actually get a shot, maybe get their own and step in the toes in the movie universe or something? We don't know. And I honestly think he will. I honestly don't think Ben Affleck, personally, I don't see him leaving. I think it would be, I think Wonder Woman's going to be a hit. I think Justice League's going to be a hit. Not as much as Avengers, but I think it's going to be a hit. And that's what I feel. I think it's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks. It's going to be a very interesting couple of months, couple of months during the whole Wonder Woman and everything else this year. If these two films bomb, which I hope they don't, if they do, that's it. Ben Affleck will leave. I think Mel Gibson probably won't do it. They won't find Flash director, and I think they'll probably just say screw it. But I think it might do something crazy and make Booster Gold be the start of the brand new DCEU movie universe, since they're basically making him out of continuity of the Justice League. So who never knows? So maybe Booster Gold might be the first one out there. So maybe that will be something very positive. So let's see what would happen. And then maybe we get a Blue Beetle hero, a Blue Beetle movie and something like that. So who knows? And that will lead to maybe the Blue Beetle and everything like that. The Blue Beetle in DC. I mean, heck, once upon a time he was as big as, yeah, seriously, the Blue Beetle was once upon a time just as big as Superman. He was. He was really that big. Blue Beetle was that big back in the day. He was right up there with Superman. He just fell on hard times, But Ted Cord, and then and then you have Dan Garrett, Ted Cord, then Jaime Reyes. You could get Jaime Reyes into a come on, think about it. Jaime Reyes will, that could really bring him into the DC universe. How was that for you? That'd be really cool. Hey, you never know. But anyway, that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. Also, I hope you enjoyed my Paper Mario Color Splash review. Hopefully, my next one will be up soon. I'm gonna be doing that, plus doing a bit of studying for big homework and everything. Wish me luck on that for my classes and everything. I need the positive vibes and energy. I always need that, and hopefully we all have our positive vibe. Because Lord knows we all need those positive vibes, And just like that, the show's over. Anyway, it's Dukect T here. Peace, love. I'll see you when I see y'all. Later.